Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and this is part 3 of the Shadows of Brimstone Kickstarter Wave 1 to 2 unpacking videos. That's right, we went into a part 3 because there's so much stuff in this I ran out of time. We've already gone through 2 videos that have been around 20 minutes or so this is kind of crazy. And this is just an unpacking. I'm not even going into the unboxing just yet, so it's pretty wild. But this is going to be a little more colorful and a little bit more exciting because this stuff that I'll be showing you right now is more of the cool stuff, like the extra custom dice and also some art book stuff and things like that. So it's going to be really fun. And there's not too much left. So I'll put the last remaining things in front of you, at least a few of them anyway. So there's a pile of cards, obviously inside the expansion boxes that I showed you that were sealed retail in part 1. Those ones actually had cards in them already, but this, of course, is for all those deluxe expansions that I got. So basically right here is what you would get in the Derelict Ship expansion. It's a seriously thick pile of cards. So you get that. You get the Blasted Waste map deck, which again correlates to all the cards. You get some Otherworld artifacts. This is for Blasted Waste. So there's the 2 other expansions that in part 1 were not in retail packaging. They were the ones that were in plastic. This is just Wasteland War Masters. I believe this is just an enhancement and additional cards for the Blasted Waste. It could also have other stuff in there, but I'm not sure. But being that it says Wasteland, it's definitely talking Blasted Waste. This one right here is additional cards for Cabins of Cinder because some of the expansions were meant to purposely boost how many monsters can arrive in Cinder. Because Cinder was not a deluxe expansion and many people complained that it should have more going for it in terms of monsters. So I think what they were doing with this was they were attempting to add more small box expansions of Cinder type enemies, and these are the encounters that are likely to go along with those. On the back side of this, it appears they've actually chucked in some mine encounters. Now this, when you see these kind of game supplement things, if you're in a place like I am in Canada here, it's actually near impossible, if impossible, to get any of these supplement packs in any retail stores. You have to purchase them from Flying Frog, which is another reason why I got the Kickstarter, was because it costs a fortune to get some of these cards across the border. And so it's easier just to get it through a Kickstarter. If you're in the States, I think these are $10 a pop per game supplement, but you don't get this many cards. You get like 15 per supplement, and I think there might be like 8 or 10 of them at this point. There could be more. I've got them all here. I just don't know exactly how many there are. But here's an example, actually. Perfect. There's one already broken down. So you'd pay about 10 US for this. There's about 15 cards or so in it. And they basically just enhance a deck, right? They're either going to give you more mines for your encounter deck, or they're going to give you more. This one, for instance, No Man's Land, is for a Tradera encounter, so it increases how many Tradera encounters you're going to get. This one right here is going to boost up how many you get in Blasted Waste, and et cetera, et cetera. And I already own a number of them that actually increase Cinder and Targa and the swamps, all that kind of stuff. This deck right here is likely just a gigantic pile of ability tokens and reference tokens for all of the monsters that are not in retail packaging yet. So this is going to be like Ancient Doom is probably likely corresponding to the Massive Ancient with the sword that I showed you at the very end of the last video that needs to be built. It's kind of the Cthulhu-esque monster of the entire set. So again, you're going to get cards that are specific to abilities that you'll pull during the gameplay that are going to allow your particular enemy to gain strengths and bonuses and buffs and all that good stuff. This is the kind of deck that likely is going to have that. And you can tell again right here, again, when I said reference cards, this would be like a reference card as to what the fortune token does. So there's cards like that in here too. I think this is just supposed to be kind of like an all-in-one cover for everything that came that is not retail boxes. There's some more cards here, so you can see, I think there's 2 packs in that one. Treasures of the Void and something else. I think I already own maybe these 2. I forget which ones of these I don't own. I don't own this one though. This is the Derelict Ship Captain's Log encounter expansion, so that'll be cool. But that's it. So these are the only cards that come outside of the expansion boxes, but I can tell you right now, if I was to rip all the cards out that are in the expansion boxes and deluxe boxes and core boxes, this card pile I'm talking it's easily, you're getting into Lord of the Rings, the card game type storage requirements in terms of size. Like it gets outrageous. There's a lot, and I kid you not on that. It may not be as much as Lord of the Rings if you had everything at this point, but it's probably like 3/4 of that. It's a ridiculous amount of cards. I have a single card box that's probably about this size, and it's probably about that deep, and it's completely full, and that's just from half of what's in this. So I don't even want to know what it's gonna be like once I get everything wrapped in, but it's going to be crazy. What else we got? We've got these right here. These are pretty cool. I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. This one is a, oh, I guess this is one pack I probably should have shown in the last video. It's the Flesh Stalkers. Oh, that's what it is. And Flesh Drones. I was kind of close with the terminology. Those are what's in here. There's a deluxe enemy pack. Of course, there are cards that go with them. There's another pile of cards in that one. We've got ourselves an extra base. So for some strange reason, they gave us one extra base. Maybe it's because there's some guy that's separate. Here's a really big base, and then a whole bunch of what looks to be, these are all tokens specific to the different heroes that are going to be added into the game. So Prospector, Doc, Cowboy, Jargono, Native, all that kind of stuff. So basically you can get a female and a male for either, which is awesome because it allows you to play female and male. You can flip the card in this game with your hero card and play either gender, which is very smart. So I like that. These tokens just allow you to do things like if you ever have something happen to a random hero in a spot, you can take their player tokens and shuffle them up in your hand and pull one, and that's the person that gets affected. I think that's really the only use for these player tokens is just to, you know, in case you need to break ties or some type of random event. Other than that, I don't think I use them all too often. What else we got here? This was just a sheet that came with it. Again, it's your Resin Heroes identification guide. So apparently I got the Gambler, Samurai, Darkstone Shaman, Bear Form, Wolf Form, Cowboy, Frontier Doc, and Jargono Native all in resin, so that's cool. Oh, and this is part 2. So then part 1 would be the alt poses for the Gunfighter, the Rancher, Bandito. So it looks like it actually does give me resin for absolutely everything that's in the game, base game included. It might be alternate stances in terms of their figure, their look, and their pose, but at the end of the day, that's pretty awesome to be able to get high quality miniatures for our heroes, especially being that those are the ones you're handling the most. So that's awesome. The other thing that's really cool about this is I got an art book. This is awesome. So it's a nice, shiny, reflective art book for Flying Frog Productions. Say that 50 times fast. So there's miniatures here. Like, again, it's just an art book. But I started opening it up and I was like, this is so cool. Like, you know, again, just it shows all the original draft work before the characters became full color. Kind of the sketches. It also has some quotes in there. I think at a certain point it actually starts to show some serious text. There might even be some stories and stuff like that. But it looks like it's got one page for every single individual. And there you go. You start to get some actual text into the darkness, color and illustration. I think this is a comic. It might, no, this one's Frontier Town. Oh no, so this is just showing all the art from the different expansions. But you can see very, very, very nice, really colorful. And again, like, I'm not really one to always go for art books, but I mean, hey, it came as part of the Kickstarter. This is the process, so it's going to have a whole bunch of explanation as to how they built this thing, maybe where they started from. Again, so it's not just an art book. There's actually some really cool background to this whole thing and to how this all came to be. So I'll definitely be taking a look through this and reading it. And I've always loved the look of this game. Like, I thought it was like they nailed it in terms of theme, and the Cthulhu kind of theme going into the Western to me is just one of the coolest the two coolest things you could combo together that I can possibly think of for a dungeon crawl. Then of course you get a signed kind of art note here from all the guys. So you got everyone, like Jason Hill's up top and stuff like that. It goes all the way around from everybody. It's awesome. So I really appreciate them throwing that in, because that's really cool as a collector's item, just to say, like, you know, this is their thanks essentially for jumping in and backing them. Now there's one other thing that's really cool about this that I really am excited to open up. This is the last thing, and I actually haven't opened it, so I have no idea what the heck's in this box. It's a white box, and sorry guys, I'm just taking some peanut pieces. So basically these things are packaged with peanuts, and they go everywhere, as you guys are probably aware of. This one right here is another small box. So originally I was like, well, that doesn't look very exciting, until I opened it, and I didn't actually go through it, but I saw custom dice. That's right guys, custom dice. This is cool. Okay, so what I've actually got here is custom dice for every single hero basically available currently. So that's awesome. And actually right now I can see the fluff from the peanut stuff somehow got into this as well. So I'm not going to go too crazy and open everything up, but I'm going to open up a couple of these and show you the dice. So what ends up happening is when you get criticals and stuff like that, or you get 6s in this game, each set of dice is got its own special symbol for the 6s. So again, like that one might be for the prospector and stuff like that, and somebody else. This one is likely for the outlaw because it's kind of got the cross, the two single pistols, as well as the skull there. I think the saloon girl, for instance, has like hearts as hers. Things like that just makes it so cool. So you can actually kind of have people playing and feel like they actually have their own dice. And there's also a good number of them. They didn't cheap out and just put like 1 or 2. They gave you 8. So that's awesome. That's more than enough to be able to do your dice rolling. So there's a whole bunch of these in here. And then underneath all of this, all of the dice packs, there is looks like there's actually some more card packs buried in here for some strange reason. Which is kind of surprising. There's also, oh yeah, there's more supplement cards at the bottom of this. There's also, so there's a ton of dice here, as you can see. You got the Risen, or the, why can't I say that right now? The Resin, sorry, 6-shooter. This is for the Gunslinger. So the Gunslinger has the ability to use these special tokens which go into this Resin Gunslinger, and he has 6 shots in a game, and you can unlock these as part of his level up, and they give him different powers, and then you spend them out of the 6-shooter as you play. Super cool. It's for just one of the heroes, but hey, it's one of the more popular heroes. This looks like it's a bunch of individual miniatures. I believe this could be like, I think at the very end of the list, there's a Void Sorcerer in here, there's a Colonel in here, there's a Swamps of Jargono Sorcerer or Shaman or something like that in here as well. So I think these are kind of like the boss, some extra boss characters or something like that. Or they may, what I think there are is a actual miniature for some tokens that are in some of the other games. So they do actually have miniatures for them. It looks like there's a whole bunch of cards in here too, like the Targa Plateau game supplement, Swamps of Jorgono, Caverns of Cinder, Tradera. So I have a number of these, but not all of them. And then on the other side, you got Derelict Ship, you got Blasted Waste, and Edge of the Abyss. And then this really long, skinny thing right here is actually a Resin depth track. I can't even speak anymore. Depth track. So basically in the game, you get what's essentially a you get these depth tracks, which are, it really is the base of the entire game. This is really cool. So this is solid resin, so it has some solid weight, so painting this up will be amazing. But basically these rings start on either side of the depth track, left and right, and essentially as you move forward into the mines, your rolls and stuff like that become progressively harder in order to hold back. It's actually been a bit since I've played it, so forgive me, I'm kind of drawing a blank a little bit. But basically, if the darkness escapes, the darkness I believe starts over here. If the darkness moves all the way back to here, it escapes the mine, and you don't want that to happen. Whereas the heroes move this up every single time they go further into the mine, and it's making their roll for, there's a roll, and I can't remember what it's called. For some sort of reason, I'm drawing a blank on the roll, but you roll and with 2 dice, 2 d6s, and you have to get higher than this number. So as your little marker goes up, it increases in difficulty. And so I'll remember that probably off camera and smack myself for that, because that's one thing I should know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the entire thing. That's literally absolutely everything for Shadows of Brimstone that's currently available retail, as well as also coming to retail in the near future. So if this kind of piqued your interest in the game and you're kind of going, you know what, this looks like something that you might be interested in, you know, you can head to the store as of right now, pick this stuff up. It's available. It has a massive cult following behind it, and it's been a huge game for me for the past year and a half, I think, almost 2 years. I've been enjoying this. I think it's been about a year and a half. So we love it. And then my group that comes over on Mondays and we play games together and stuff like that, this is one of the ones that always gets asked for. We'll put it away for a month, and then someone's asking for it literally the next month, saying like, "Where we got to get back to Shadows of Brimstone again? It's too good." So it's just one of those games, and for me, it was one of those ones that was worth it to just go a little bit crazy and get everything. So anyway, I hope this helped you understand. If you're somebody who's waiting still for your Kickstarter from Kickstarter 1, I sympathize with you guys 100%. You guys deserve the utmost respect in the world for waiting, and and stuff like that. And I guarantee you, when this stuff comes to your door, you're going to go from potential. I really hope that you go from, if you are upset that the game took so long to deliver for the Kickstarter 1 backers, I really hope that what you see in the Shadows of Brimstone content really changes your mind, because I think what you're getting for the value of money is insane. However, it did cost you some time, and time is money to some people as well. So, you know, it is what it is, but you know what? Once it gets to your doorstep, I think you're going to be pretty blown away, and you'll have a lot of work to do. There's a lot here. So hopefully you'll be super excited the moment it hits your door. But anyway, I hope this helped everybody either thinking of buying at retail or still waiting for their Kickstarter to come to them, or if they're just wondering, you know, what's all in their box that they haven't even bothered to open yet. So regardless of your situation, check out Shadows of Brimstone. It's a fun dungeon crawler with kind of unlimited opportunity for randomness and exploration, and I definitely recommend it. So until the next episode, guys, and a potential future unboxing for the items in this Kickstarter that I'm going to keep because it's new to me, I will be doing an unboxing, so you can look for that in the future as well. So until the next episode, guys, keep on rolling solo.